hockey. Yeah.
My favorite.
It's Judd's Hockey Show.
And welcome into Judd's Hockey Show. Going to be a quick edition today. It's Judd, it's AJ Fredrickson, and Wild lose last night in what was a bizarre game just because of how it ebbed and flowed. 4-3 to the Carolina Hurricanes. Matt Boldy scores a couple of goals, all the goal scoring. Let's see here, Age. In the first period, we had 5 goals. Yes. And within a 52-second span, we had 3 goals, which included 4-on-4 goals by two 4-on-4 goals by the Hurricanes, 1 by the Wild, and then in the second period, we had a goal 37 seconds in. Matt Boldy tied it at 3, and 9 seconds later, Nikolai Ehlers responds to make it 4-3, and it looks like this is going to be just one of those wacky 8-7 games or something, and we don't have a goal after that. So, so the Wild lose this game, and I got a few things for you off the top here. Let's talk about Matt Zuccarello is supposed to return tonight against, it looks like reportedly, against the Islanders. He's been out for the first 7 weeks or something like that. But what's your expectation now that the Wild's big 2-game win streak is done? What's your expectation of what his return on the first line? It sounds like he's going to play with Rossi and Kaprizov. So we're going to get a trickle-down effect, including, it sounds like, Tyler Petlick's probably going to be suspended. But he also got booted from last night's game. But the trickle-down of Johansson goes to the second line, which I'm curious to see. Tarasenko goes to the third line. What's your expectation of what Mats Zuccarello, who I think is 38 years old, is going to mean to a team that certainly not gotten off to the start that many had hoped?
Well, I'll be honest. I'm expecting a rough night. It's going to be it's hard. It's just simply hard to be 38 years old. I'm sure, I'm not there yet, but I'm sure at one point in your life you can attest it's tough to be that old.
If you're trying to play a professional sport, it's easy in life.
Yeah. But he's just jumping in. We are 14-ish games now into the season. Everybody else is a professional who's been doing this for a month and a half or so. He's looking to just jump right in. You're doing it on the road. I don't expect that great of a night. I would love to be proven wrong. If he comes in and looks like a superstar and looks like he's dishing it all around the rink, that'd be awesome.
But how about long term here? Like
in terms of long term, you're going to get production, and I think it probably will help the Wild be able to spread out Matt Boldy back to the second line with, I don't like these words coming out of my mouth now with Marcus Johansson, but frankly, he's still been one of your better forwards all season long. It allows them to have it takes away the excuse of we don't have our big guns, and I don't know how big those guns even are on the top 2 lines. Missing Matt Zuccarello should hypothetically add more offense to this team. Does it? I don't think you're going to get like a huge uptick. I think you'll probably see a little more of a 5-on-5 swing, but It's not going to be enough to where, like last night, if you had Matt Zuccarello playing, there's still a bad goal given up on that Svechnikov goal. You still had 3 guys standing around watching Jackson Blake go coast to coast on you and just waltz right in. You still have Brock Faber. As soon as you tie the game, granted, it was a bad pass by Brodin, who then gets an interception back by Faber, who then tries to make another bad pass, who turns the puck over, and then it's a 2-on-1 for the Ehlers goal, which you lose on. You still have other stuff that has to be addressed. One player, a wing who's 38 years old, is not going to fix a lot of these issues. So long-term, probably an uptick in the offense, but there's still so much that has to be addressed here if this team wants to get more than a miraculous two-game win streak under their belt at time and time again.
So I guess where I'm curious as well is, look, I mean, Johansson on the first line has played well, but there's no question about it. And this is why I have encouraged them to move Boldy, or I did, back to the first line, which they wouldn't do with Kaprizov. Anybody playing with Kaprizov improves if they try at all.
Yeah.
Boldy was great there. Then he hadn't scored for 6 straight games while he was on the second line. Johansson now is on a heater. Well, why? Largely because he's trying harder, and they stuck him with Kaprizov. I mean, there was that fantastic near game tying goal. I think it was in the third period last night where the defenseman or the Carolina back checker made a great play to break up a pass that would have been, I think, or it should have been a Johansson goal, except for the play was really good to break the play up. So anyway, I'm curious to see the trickle down here. Because does Johansson playing with Boldy and Eriksson, does he continue to play like he's been playing? Because it's a privilege. I mean, no matter if you consider Kaprizov to be struggling or not playing up to his potential, or you consider him to be just A-okay, like playing with him, he is special. He makes plays.
Yeah.
Well, now Johansson's going to come off that line. So I'm curious on that one. Tarasenko, I mean, he got another assist last night. But there's not a lot left there, so now you're going to put him on the third line. Doesn't really, I mean, I'm fine with him being on the third line, but he also doesn't really strike me as a third line standout, so we'll see there. So I like the fact that guys are coming back, but here's my question too, off of this entire thing. So everybody's back tonight, let's say. Pitlick's not, but that's fine. Is Yurov going to slot in here eventually again? Like they basically decided, well, we won 2 consecutive games. And by the way, you know, that win against the Predators was absolute. And I'm not talking about the goal. That win was garbage because they played so poorly, but they got the 2 points. So Yurov didn't play for a 3rd consecutive game last night. And I'm just curious what the plan is here too. Because like, is he now just out? Yeah. Is he just going to be the odd man out all the time? Are they going to send him? I think, I forget the rules exactly because of his status, but I think they can send him to Iowa still at some point here. Is that going to help him playing in the American Hockey League? I just come back to a lot of questions about with how they're playing, what they're doing. And I know that I know there's a mandate to win, but all of that being said, is this the best thing? Is their approach the best thing for the development of this team? And unfortunately, I keep coming back to, I don't think it is. No. I just don't think it is.
I would love to hear somebody ask John Hines or Bill Guerin point blank, do you think Ben Jones is a better hockey player than Danila Yurov? I just don't understand why he's like Ben Jones and Tyler Pitlick the past couple of games have had the same inkling or like just place in my mind where it's like, I get why you're here, but why? In reality, why are you here? Because you have somebody who's younger, who was taken in the first round, who is, I feel, has the potential to be a pretty dynamic player. And we know exactly what both these guys are. Tyler Pitlick, I mean, the past couple of games, I've not been impressed whatsoever. And then last night expedited the process to him getting removed from the lineup. Ben Jones, though, your point from our show with Jesse on Wednesday, which was, okay, it was a reset. It's supposed to be a reset for Yurov. Because of the faceoffs? Well, Ben Jones took 2 draws the other night against Nashville.
He was 1 for 1 in that game. I don't know. I don't know what he came out last night, but yeah. So and look, I mean, I could make a case that Yurov playing in the 4th line here is not going to help him that much. Like when he plays.
Yeah.
I would rather have him on a wing in a top 6 to 9 role than I would at center on the 4th line because I don't know what's helping him. Like the one thing that they were. Where I think they're missing the point is, so they're like, well, he's struggling in the face-off circle. We're going to give him a reset. I don't even know they're giving him the right reset. Like if there's a button to push on the kid for like reset, right? Mm-hmm. I'm not sure they're powering down, you know, if this is turning off the computer and turning it back on, I'm not even sure they're pushing the right buttons. And I know it might seem small, but I mean, they lost again last night. They have not looked good all season, which is why I'm curious what Zuccarello can bring, but I'm hesitant to put this all on a 38-year-old guy. So, yeah, that's a confusing one. You're right to go back to what you talked about. The turnovers last night were awful. Faber had a flat-out bad game. He had a really tough game. Brodin on the Ehlers goal, yeah, Brodin turns the puck over. Faber gets the puck and turns it over. And Carolina, too. So I watched these teams, too, Age, and watching the Canes last night, and by the way, if you want to go with a woe is our team injury issues, you don't understand, you just don't get it. The Canes have been ravaged. Mm-hmm. They just got Cantre Miller just came back. Slavin is still out. Gostisbehere is still out. And did you see the way that they play, though, their style? Like, they are at pace constantly. They're fortunate. I mean, they are all over you, all over the ice. And I'm watching that, and I'm thinking to myself, Minnesota can't even keep up with this, much less like beat it.
Yeah.
So, and look, Carolina goaltending was not great. Freddie was not great last night. So that created some problems at the start. But there was no point last night. I'm watching that thinking, you know what? I think Minnesota is keeping up. And like the Wild was saying, well, we played with them. We think we can beat them. I'm watching that game last night and I'm thinking to myself, okay, yeah, first of all, they've got injuries. But second of all, watch their style of play and then watch you play. And you're going to tell me that you think that you are going to be ultra competitive with a team that literally, for the most part, could skate circles around you consistently.
The culture that Bill Guerin has been trying to build here feels like he thinks what he's doing, or at least has like potentially in works created what Carolina already has. Like they play a ruthless, aggressive, consistent style of hockey, which is just super fun to watch. There's a reason why they're a favorite to be deep in the playoffs, if not a cup contender. Whereas the Wild, I mean, you're gonna see them match up tonight with a team that very much matches their style and has had a very similar start to the season with the New York Islanders, where it's, we have a couple guys, Matt Barzal, he's superstar level. The rest of the team, we're kind of in this like no man's land, and we think we can try and blah blah blah. It's night and day watching that game last night, and it unfortunately, I think it shows me just how far off, at least at this point of the season. Not that it can't turn around with some miraculous, culture shift, trade, who knows. But as it is constructed right now, it makes me think very hard and tough that it'll be a very long season for the Wild if they can't change something, because it's such a far gap. It's such a far gap. Not even, and I'm not talking expect us to make the playoffs, but even just on a night-to-night basis, you see you should be able to build for a team that was so starved for points, a 2-game win streak. And granted, they were pretty ugly wins. You should be able to build off that. And then last night, you have times where you score and even it up, and we're going to give up the lead 20 seconds later, or we're going to, like you said, come out of the period. We're going to tie things up and maybe force the final 2 periods to be pretty competitive. And no, we're going to give up a goal 20 seconds later. And now the Carolina Hurricanes, they're like, we're going to trade chances back and forth. But in reality, they're able to kind of shut down, which is what they did. The Wild at one point, I think, only had 5 shots nearly halfway through the game last night. And you and I talked, the shots don't mean everything. Like the shot on goal counter doesn't mean everything if they're grade A chances back to back. Excuse me. But 5 shots, like 30 minutes into a game, is pretty pathetic. And if you look at, hey, they only ended 3 behind the Hurricanes last night. It was a 27-24 shot differential. Well, they had 14 in the third because Carolina just shut things down and wanted to preserve a lead. There's a reason. Right. There's a reason why all those chances. It was like garbage time in football. Yeah, of course they're going to get more receiving yards. They're not. They're playing prevent defense.
Yeah, in fact, I think it was. In fact, I've got the note right here. 10:45 left in the second period. LaPanta said the shot attempts were 40-11 for Carolina. So yeah, the shots on goal mean nothing. And well, I mean, here's a stat too. The giveaways last night, which I don't know at the X they necessarily get this right, but this looks accurate from Carolina last night. Carolina had 13. That's not great. Okay, the Wild had 16. They were charged with 16 giveaways. And the problem is, yes, some of those are in neutral and they don't ultimately matter. Certainly don't come back to bite you in the ass. But you know what? The Faber and Brodin ones did. And so I just go to that. And my issue is, at the end of the day, and watching this team consistently now, I have no idea what their identity is. I have no idea what they want it to be. Like they say we play hard, but they don't really play hard. They don't play hard consistently. Yeah. And playing hard at I mean, that should be a minimum, right? Like, we play hard. Well, yeah, of course you do. But like, what's your identity of how you play? Like Carolina, all over you. They play what looks to be an exhausting style of hockey, which might come back to bite you in the playoffs. But they play an exhausting style where they pressure you, where they get in on the forecheck, right? Where they're fast, like they are on you. The Wild, like last night, I thought was a perfect example because your identity, in my opinion, in hockey really emerges on the road.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's where you rely on your team. Like you got nothing else. You got no boost of energy. You got no nothing. So, and I'm watching that last night, and yeah, I mean Gus was certainly not great. The screen goals are a problem.
Yeah.
But all of that being said, just overall body of work, I'm like, okay, what's your identity? What are you doing right now that I'm like, okay, I can see that this is Wild hockey. And we've seen stints where this has happened before. We've seen stints where they have an identity. I just have no idea what that is other than they hope. They hope they can score. They hope they can do this. But they're not that talented and they don't really have a work ethic that knocks my socks off and they don't really have any one thing that they do. I mean, they got a star player, but they don't have any one thing that they do. And it's amazing to me that a team like this that has hopes or had hopes comes into the season and I mean hockey to me too is an identity sport, right? Like if I name you a good team, if I name you a good team and an identity, you can tell me what the identity is. I don't see it here, and I don't know that Matt Zuccarello comes back. I mean, he might provide a little bit of a spark, but I don't know that he comes back and says, "Okay, boys, the identity man, Matt Zuccarello is back." So I'm very confused because I thought something might start to emerge. I mean, we got the hat now, right? The hat that we hand out.
The hats.
After
Can't
wins.
forget about the hats.
Not a big fan of the hat, but that's okay. But I thought we had the hat. Maybe that's going to be part of your identity. Well, so far, nothing.
And maybe that's why it was so much easier to be optimistic about this team a year ago, because at this point they had been on the road for, 10 of their first 15 or 16 games or whatever it was, like a really weird stretch.
Great
but they were winning those games.
Yeah.
And so even when they came home and they stunk it up, it was like, well, what is it? Like there's what weird thing is going on behind the scenes that they're playing so well and mustering up these points on the road and just earning it. And the identity that you're talking about, they were just road warriors last season, at least for the first part. It kind of trailed off in the end, but it was like, okay, they're dependable, they're consistent, they go on the road and they make the opposing building theirs. That's awesome. That's just gone. That's just gone. Carolina, like you had that first early goal last night, and then you just concede. And back to the giveaways here. Just because this is insane to me, Marcus Johansson led the team with 4 giveaways last night. Jonas Brodin had 3. Brock Faber had 2. Of those giveaways, Marcus Johansson gave those all away in the offensive zone, which,
of course you did.
Which is of course, but the defensive zone giveaways matched the total giveaways for both Brodin and Faber, so they're giving the puck away every single time that they did last night in the defensive zone. That cannot happen, especially for those 2 names. Those are supposed to be stable rocks in your own zone that don't give the puck away. Like if there's an outlet pass that maybe gets picked off once a game, I can let it slide. But those 2 combining for 5 giveaways in the defensive zone last night cannot happen.
And those two, that's what they're known for.
Mm-hmm.
Those are 2 bread and butter lock. I mean, that's your lockdown. That's your lockdown pair.
Yeah.
And Fabes has had a weird season. I personally think he's really good. He's shown us he's really good. I think he's got future captain potential, but he is not the consistency again. Like again, if your identity is, well, we're really consistent. No, you're not. You're not consistent at all. I mean, I wasn't impressed with Spurgeon last night. No. He finally, Hines at some point in time finally broke up the defensive pairing. He got in the second period. He got Hunt away from Bouillon, and he put Hunt with Spurgeon. But I don't know that helps. It should help. It's concerning about to go back to something that's been just a theme. I remain concerned about the play of some players.
As
100%. But guys that I expected more. Like I got to be honest here. With Tarasenko gets some points. So and on the power play, which has been solid. He's looked pretty good, I think. But anyway, 5-on-5, I didn't expect a lot from him. So I can't say I'm absolutely shocked. I doubted him going in, and I think it's sort of been justified. But, Eriksson Ek, Spurgeon, Brodin, Faber, I feel like after every game, we're talking about one or multiple of those guys, and it's just like they're not where they should be, and I don't understand why. Are they hurt? Are they still hurt? In Faber's case, what's going on there? I don't think he's hurt.
No.
And Brodeen strikes me as what we're seeing is a discount Brodeen now because he's so broken down. I mean, that dude has been hurt so much, and he's not a young man. So I keep coming back to it's hard. It's hard to achieve your maximum when so many of your guys don't appear to be anywhere close to their maximum. And what really concerns me, I brought this up with you and Jess. Eriksson Ek, for instance, I don't think for 1 second he's dogging it at all.
Yeah.
Like I'm not criticizing his effort. Mm-hmm. Like if I was, it would be like, okay, get your act together. On that first goal, I think it was the first goal by Boldy last night, or it might have been. Got to check my notes here. It might have been. Oh no, the second goal, I think. Yeah, the second Boldy. No, the second Boldy goal that came on a power play, which tied the score at the time. Eriksson Ek sets a great screen. A classic Eriksson Ek screen, absolutely key to that goal being scored. So this is not a well, he's not trying hard enough. He's trying hard enough. I mean, do I think for 1 second Brodeen is dogging it? No, he's never dogged it.
Yeah.
These are my concerns. I'm seeing guys who aren't reaching anywhere near their maximum, and I can't say, old school. I would say get your act together and work harder, which is a very hockey-like thing. Age.
Yeah.
The majority of the I don't think Faber is doing anything that I can point to and say this is why.
Yes, I hear. And maybe that's
a difficult discussion because if you could just bag on them,
that's
an easier discussion.
I don't know if I can because clearly I do sincerely feel like everybody that like after a loss or everybody on the roster does genuinely care. Like they're not taking, like, even though I do say like they're taking a period off, they play. It looks like they're trying night in, night out. But it looks like there is just like a bottle cap or like a cork that's plugging up where the offense like gush should be coming from, and it's just never coming, and they're getting in their own way, and then they almost like trip over themselves and somehow like end by trying too much and maybe trying to overdo things. They almost sabotage themselves, and that leads to scoring chances for the opposition. And so it's just been such a weird season here so far.
I think individuals who aren't playing up to their potential, like Ek, like Faber, are trying. That being said, and this might sound weird because and this comes back to I just don't think that they're that good of team.
Yeah.
Is that like the Nashville game was disgusting. Like as a whole, that game was disgusting overall. They shouldn't have got a point. They played a terrible game. I mean, the Predators came into their building off a back-to-back, overtime back-to-back, played a team that was on its couch the night before. So as a unit, I'm not defending them. I'm just saying that there's certain guys, in my opinion, who aren't playing up to their potential, and I don't think it's because I don't think it's because they've suddenly checked out. But this team, the nicest compliment I can give is to sort of absolve them as not being lax is this. It feels like there's large quantities of almost every game in which they're completely disjointed. So I'll use disjointed instead of not working hard enough. It feels like there's large periods of every game in which they're disjointed and they can't get their act together. And it doesn't appear John Hines has any clue why. And it doesn't appear that the players have a clue why. Now, could that come back to the fact that the majority of this team is just not good? Absolutely could. But you still had enough guys where it feels like you should be getting 2 points a lot more, and you're not. Or the Nashville game. The Nashville game should have been a convincing win. With where the Predators were, coming off a back-to-back, they had traveled, they played at home against the Canucks and then flew here. That should have just been a convincing win. Oh, there's no such thing as a sure win. Well, okay, that's fine. But there's probabilities of what should be if you're a good team, you come out in the first period, you score 2 goals, and then you just kick sand in their face the rest of the game and you go home. You don't have to have it go to OT where some bizarre thing happens. And now the league has to examine a whole rule because you didn't hold up your end of the bargain. So it's going to continue to be an interesting season, and like it's a weird one because there have been years where, first with Dex and now with you, where we can flip on the mics and just rip like the effort, right?
Yeah.
Just say, you know what, this guy's not, Ryan Suter is dogging it again or something like that. That's not the case necessarily here. It's more deep than that, and that's what makes it concerning, and that's also what makes the decisions more concerning because, for instance, with Urov, when do you put him back in and stick him on like the second line and just let him learn? Because I would rather have you learn. I would rather have you be young and learn and be better for next season than to pay homage to a season where it's just like it's not going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Not unless you shake up this roster. So, a long way of saying this is a very odd season.
There's a lot of stuff here, and it'll be, and I say this tongue in cheek, fun to discuss it over the next few months because there doesn't look like there's going to be a hard left turn where things just start clicking for this team.
Right.
Maybe I would like to see some. I know Matt Zuccarello is coming back, and you're going to have to do the trickle down effect on the right wing, but I think you almost need to readjust some of the other lines too. Like I wouldn't be opposed to Urov coming back in, and you go back to that. You throw him on the second line with Boldy and Eck, and then maybe your third line is Tarasenko, Johansson, centered by Hartman, and then Marcus Foligno even goes down to the fourth line.
Yeah.
Like,
oh yeah, I could see that.
I just because then that to me says, okay, I have a top line, I have a third line that it has a lot of upside and can score. Yep. Second line, I have two anchored guys who I know can be productive, and then one maybe mysterious spark plug that, I mean, I clearly am higher on Urov than John Hines is because he would be playing if I was the head coach. But
sure.
It just feels like there's got to be something they can do, and I don't think just Matt Zuccarello entering the lineup back tonight is the key to unlocking that.
All right, sir. So the Wild plays Friday night. We're recording this on Friday on the island. They play on Sunday against the Flames. So I'm guessing we will be back on Monday to talk about those two games and much, much more on Judd's Hockey Show. We'll see you later.